Hi, I'm Anna of All Trades, and today we are going to build this awesome planter, made even more awesome by a solar-powered, rain-collecting, self-watering system. For this and a lot of other outdoor projects on the farm, we are going to be using some of these rough-cut cedar seconds that I got from a local sawmill. Though we're going to be using cedar for the majority of this build because of its rot resistance, we're getting a little bit of extra structure from 2 treated 4x4s. We're going to use 2 plastic storage bins as the dirt receptacles for this project. I want to find a couple pieces that are relatively the same thickness, and that'll construct our frame. Once you have your 2 cross members assembled, you can make things really easy for yourself by literally setting it up like this so that we can put our little pieces in here. Next thing that we need to do is put in all of the cross members here where the tubs are going to sit. Once these are evenly spaced so that they can distribute the weight of the tub evenly, we're just going to give them a quick pre-drill, mostly because we're drilling so near the end of these pieces that they're going to be really liable to split. Now that we've got these cross members in, it's a great time to drill our water escapement holes to dress up the front of these boxes. And just to add a nice little design feature to the front, we're gonna make a geometric pattern and put a whole bunch of face boards like this. After we've got the top flush, we've left a little bit here so we can cut this flush after we've got the side pieces on. But when it comes to cutting diagonals here, we want to fit the first diagonal, and then everything else is really easy to mark and cut afterwards. To outfit the rest of these boards here, I'm going to cut a 45 on the end of here, and then I have a really easy reference point where I can just mark them and cut them. Even though the exterior of this planter is cedar, which is rot resistant, I'm going to add another layer of protection and aesthetic coolness by doing a technique called shosugi-ban. That is a Japanese method of burning the exterior of the wood, which gives it extra rot resistance and also just looks pretty dang cool. After the Herculean effort to get it up here, it is now time to put on the oil, and then we'll put in the plants. Now comes the really cool part of this build. The thing that makes that herb garden completely self-sufficient because it will self-water automatically using this solar pump and rain collection system that's available from Lee Valley. So let's get this thing set up. First things first, this thing comes flat packed. We want to install this little drainage drain down in the bottom, put all the gaskets in where they go, and we'll get it standed up and put the legs in it. We probably could just wait a few minutes because I think it's actually about to rain, but we're gonna go ahead and fill this up for the time being so we can see how the system works. While we're waiting for it to fill, I also want to point out a quick improvement we'll be doing once I get the part in to be able to divert part of the water off of this downspout into here. Basically, it'll divert part of it, but it'll also have an overfill spot that'll put the water back in here so that it can flow away from the house. The next piece of this system is installing the solar panel and battery charging pack for the system. So we're gonna go ahead and put that right up here. Yep. This is a south-facing wall, so it's gonna get the most sunlight. And we're gonna put these 2 sensors into the water. one at the topmost part and one near the bottom. And basically, when the system starts to run out of water, then it's gonna let the pump know not to turn on so it doesn't accidentally burn out the pump, which is pretty dang cool. This is the water inlet tube. This has a nice little handy dandy filter on it that's going to keep any kind of schmutz from the bottom of the rain barrel getting into our watering system and clogging it. What we're gonna do is we're going to attach the two sensors above and below the water inlet, just using a little twisty tie here. And those are gonna help us sense if there's no water below or if there's too much water above the sensor there. Then this thing sticks on in down there and it floats. So I'm gonna get rid of all of this excess cord. The pipe from the inlet valve that we put down in there is going to be beautifully put up in here underneath the trim there. And then we're gonna plug it into the panel here. Then we're gonna take another stretch of tube, take it up there. So I've taken this outlet, so we put the inlet into the barrel, and this is the outlet coming from the solar charger. And I've wrapped it around, and I will use collated staples to put it, you know, in all the places so you can't see it. I'm coming from behind the deck there, and I'm gonna go into the inside of the planter here. And now we shall connect it. All right, once we have our solar pump and our rain barrel set up, our hose coming up through the deck here, we are going to cut the extra length of hose and use it to set up our little water emitters. We have a T here that's going to come out to a little post that's going to hold the emitter up out of the soil there. Then we'll take another length of hose, stick it here. We want to make sure to really firmly put those in all the way. And we'll take it to the next little emitter here, cut that there, and put another T. If you have your rain barrel above where your garden is, not like I have mine below, you want to use this little anti-siphon device to keep stuff from basically backflowing into the system. But because we've got our rain barrel down there, we don't need to. If you think this rain collection and solar-powered self-watering system is as cool as I do, make sure you check it out at leevalley.com.